What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now today we are going to be looking at another Pokemon added back into the decks with the arrival of Pokemon Home, and that is going to be Necrozma. Now, obviously Necrozma's other forms, Dawnwings and Duskmane, are both banned to Ubers, but this one is not, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about what he can do possibly in this new meta, as well as a little bit of new tech that he got. Nothing too crazy, but these are just some ways that you might use him in the Galar region now that he has made his return. Now, this first set we're going to look at is going to be a set that I highlighted in our week of Wi-Fi on our final day. If you want to check that out, the link to that will be up in the iCard above. But basically, we used a choice spec set on a team, and it actually did pretty well. Now, I think Necrozma is really cool. It gets a lot of decent coverage, and its stats are pretty cool as well. Base 97 HP, base 101 defense is really nice, especially coupled with the Prism Armor ability, receiving 3/4 damage from super effective attacks. It's really nice. It's really nice to have that on it. Additionally, you know, a base 127 special attack, that's pretty nice as well. Base 79 speed isn't terrible in the current meta. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. It can definitely do some work, especially with some help. But we're gonna take a look at this first set, which is choice specs with Photon Geyser, Heat Wave, Earth Power, and Power Gem. Now, Photon Geyser is Necrozma's signature move, and basically what it is a 100 base power psychic move that is normally a special move. However, when your attack becomes higher than your special attack, it becomes a physical move. So it just takes whichever is higher and uses it that way. So basically, you're going to always run this move on Necrozma because, you know, it's always going to take the higher stat anyway, and it ignores abilities, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty great move, honestly. Heat Wave is going to be there for steel types, things like Ferrothorn. It helps you to do quite a bit of damage to a Corviknight, which is pretty cool. You don't OHKO it by any means, but you still do quite a bit of damage. You do about half-ish if they are specially defensive. If they're physically defensive, you definitely 2-hit KO, which is really nice. Earth Power, you know, ground typing is obviously the best offensive type, so it's really nice to really have that. And then we have Power Gem just for a little bit of extra coverage. You can obviously run something like Dragon Pulse if you wanted to, or Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon. Yeah, I mean, this thing gets quite a bit of coverage, which is really good to see. This mon is pretty neat. All right, so the next that we're going to look at is Dragon Dance. This mon now gets access to Dragon Dance, which is pretty cool, honestly. If you wanted to boost your speed before, all you had was Autotomize, and you still can run like Autotomize Swords Dance, something like that, which we will look at a little bit later. But, you know, if you wanted to run Double Dance you could, but now, you know, you've got Dragon Dance, which just boosts both of them by 1 rather than one or the other by 2, and it's pretty neat. After one boost, if you're Jolly, you're going to be faster than a non-Scarf Dragapult, which is pretty cool, actually by only 1 point. So you do need all of the speed and the Jolly nature in order to outspeed a timid max speed Dragapult that is not Scarfed. So that is one thing to keep in mind that makes this kind of interesting, and Photon Geyser does basically OHKO. So if you look right here, you know, Photon Geyser OHKOs if you get a +1, and you're faster, so 423 and 421. So this is nice to see against something like Dragapult, which is pretty prevalent in the tier. So, you know, I think Dragon Dance actually has a pretty cool place. Plus, you then can use Knockoff, which of course is an amazing move, and then you have Earthquake, but of course you can switch that out for other kinds of coverage. You know, you can run Brick Break if you wanted to. Let's see, what else do we have? Outrage? Probably not. Night Slash? Probably not. Shadow Claw? Maybe. You know, you got quite a few options here. But I think that this is the best one. You could also run Stone Edge over Earthquake, or even run Edgequake with Stone Edge and Earthquake instead of Knockoff. That's also really good coverage. You know, you've got some options here. So the next set that we're going to look at is a Calm Mind set. Now, with the Prism Armor ability, it's really nice for this mon to have access to Calm Mind. This thing can boost up really well, and it has a decent Fizz Def already. So, you know, just boosting it up with a Calm Mind is going to be really, really nice. Now, you can also run Recovery on this set if you want to. Necrozma does get 2 forms of Recovery in Moonlight and Morning Sun. The only problem with these over something like Recover is they are weather dependent. So if somebody brings a non-favorable weather, you will only heal a quarter. However, if you are on a team that has a favorable weather, then you will actually heal 75%, which is pretty cool. So it would be interesting to bring this on a team that carries one of those favorable weathers. Sun, for instance, with Morning Sun. It's pretty cool. Actually, Moonlight, I think, also counts 75% in Sun. So yeah, you might want to consider running this on a Sun team. I think it could work out. I think it'd be all right. So let's look at our next set here, which is going to be an offensive Stealth Rock team that does actually have the Moonlight on it. This is a really neat set, to be honest, and him getting access to rocks is really cool. What's really great about him is that Prism armor, again, allowing him to take those hits that otherwise he may not, or at least allowing him to maybe make a 2-hit KO, a 3-hit KO. It's just really, really nice. And so we also have Moonlight for recovery, and then Photon Geyser and Heat Wave just to deal some damage. I think that his stab move plus a fire type attack is your best coverage, but of course you can change that out if you feel that it's necessary. But of course it's up to you. Now, something else to consider here is a Thunder Wave or Toxic. Now that Toxic is back in the game and a lot more prevalent, it is a move that we can use a lot more on mons like this. So, you know, you can also run that instead of Moonlight if you would rather be spreading some kind of status around. It's all out there, you know. There's all kinds of possibilities with this thing. Another set you can run, I'm telling you, this thing can do so many different things, is set screens. I know we have a lot of screen setters already, and Grimmsnarl obviously being the best one, but this one shines in its bulk. It's just natural bulk. And so I think that it's actually not a terrible option for having screens. Plus Stealth Rocks on the same mod is pretty cool. I can't think of another mod that is a prevalent screen setter that also sets rocks, so that gives him an interesting niche. And Thunderwave is just kind of a placeholder. You could put basically anything there. If you wanted to run Toxic, you could run his signature move. You could run about anything you wanted to there. But Thunderwave there would be just to slow down your opponents. And yeah, it's just there for a little bit of utility on this set. Alright, our final set is going to be an interesting double dance set. Now, we're running Photon Geyser over Stored Power on this meme set because actually, if you get Autotomize and Calm Mind set up, one of each, you actually are doing the exact same amount of damage with Photon Geyser as you would be with Stored Power. Now, if you can get more Calm Minds set up than just one, then Stored Power will be the one that you want to go with, just so you know. But, you know, this is pretty cool. Now, we're running no speed investment on this because at +2, you actually outspeed Dragapult anyway by several points. And, you know, if you got 2 up, you're going to outspeed, like, almost any Scarfer. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So I think Necrozma really has a nice niche here. Now, one thing I did not mention that could be used on several of these sets would be the use of a weakness policy. Now, you could use that on a set such as this one. And with that Prism Armor ability being able to take hits a little bit better, or you could also run, instead of Calm Mind, run Autotomize only, and then set up the speed, take a super effective hit, and then just kind of go to town at +2/+2, whichever one you want. You could run physical or special because of Photon Geyser, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I think weakness policy could actually put in some work as well, especially on the physical side, since there are so many physical mons. You know, what's it called? Conkeldurr just got access to knockoff again. There are a lot of different things that would want to hit you. Of course, Dragapult is a thing. So, you know, you go for Autotomize on it, going for a Shadow Ball. You live the Shadow Ball, and then you just kind of destroy the team. I think it could work. I think Necrozma has it definitely has a place. I think it just also kind of struggles from 4-move syndrome. But, you know, that's just my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this guide on how to use Necrozma, and we will keep on adding pages to this dex. Again, the dex got a little bit longer with the addition of Pokemon Home, but you know what? We're going to get through all of these pages together. So anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.